Ladies, have you ever walked into a room or even in the midst of your own family gathering and felt like you didn't belong? You just don't belong? Like everyone else had a place and you were just floating. If that's you, then stick around because this video is for you. There comes a time in life, especially after 50, when belonging feels so complicated. Maybe your kids are grown up now and they don't need you as much or the same. Maybe you've left a toxic relationship and the people you once called friends don't call you anymore. Or maybe you've removed yourself from places that were harmful. And while that was the right thing for you to do, it left you feeling like you don't have a circle to call your own. And that can be painful, a feeling of not belonging anywhere. That feeling can make you question your worth, your purpose, and even your future. But here's the thing I want you to hold on to. This season is not about being excluded, it's about being refined. Think about pottery for a moment. You know those plant pots that you see me doing? Whether you are using clay or concrete, the work does not start out beautiful. It's usually messy, shapeless, and sometimes there are cracks. But when the raw materials are placed in the hands of the potter, which is you, and molded with patience, it transforms into something strong, useful, a one of a kind even. So pottery for me is more than a craft. It's a form of therapy. As we shape the concrete, think of the process as we are also reshaping our lives. Every mixture, every curve of the pot, every smoothing of rough edges mirrors the way we're building life after loss or pain, and the process reminds us that even when we feel broken, we can be remolded into something stronger, something more beautiful than before. So let's redefine what it means to belong, because belonging doesn't always mean fitting into a group. Sometimes it means standing strong in who you are becoming. Think about it. Do you really want to belong in spaces that demand you shrink yourself, silence yourself, or betray your own values just to feel included? No, I don't think so. At this stage in life, belonging starts with you. Each day, remind yourself that I am whole as I am. I am planted in this season for a reason. I am held by God's love that never fails. Say it until it settles into your bones. I am enough. I am becoming. I am anchored in God's purpose for me. When you start speaking truth over your life, when you start speaking truth over yourself, any feelings of loneliness will lose its grip to be replaced by clarity, courage, and peace. You can also allow silence to speak life back into you. Embrace those quiet moments. When you don't feel like you belong, the silence can feel so unbearable, and the temptation is to drown it out with noise. You can find yourself saying yes to too many commitments, keeping people around who drain your energy, or filling your days with shallow distractions. But here's the truth, none of this eases the ache. It only leaves you emptier, more exhausted, and further from the peace that you're longing for. What your soul is really craving is not more noise, but more alignment with love, with purpose, and with the kind of peace that only comes when you stop running and start grounding yourself in what truly matters. So instead, try leaning into that solitude. Use your time to journal, to pray, meditate, to walk in nature, maybe learn a new skill. The quiet is not a punishment, it's an invitation to reconnect with yourself. Even Jesus often withdrew to lonely places to pray, as told to us in Luke 5 and verse 16. So solitude can be where strength is reborn. So you don't need to be in a big crowd to belong. You can start by building small but meaningful connections. Sometimes one good conversation can nourish your soul more than 100 shallow interactions. Be intentional about connecting with women who share your values. Whether that's in a church group, a book club, or even online spaces designed for women in this stage of life. Belonging doesn't always look like a family reunion. It can be simply two women having a cup of coffee, talking about what's real. Another way to develop your sense of belonging maybe is to build what you cannot find. If you don't feel like you belong anywhere, maybe that's because you were meant to create the very space others are searching for. Think about it. What if the isolation you feel is not a setback, but a doorway, an opening to create new circles of friendships, fresh connections, and deeper purpose in your life? That could look like hosting a small women's circle in your living room, starting a craft club where people create and laugh together, or even sharing your journey online so another woman out there knows that she isn't alone. Sometimes the very absence you feel is your calling to fill. And here's the beauty of it. Every step you take towards self-improvement, whether it's rebuilding confidence, learning new skills, or nurturing your spiritual growth, it's like crafting a concrete pot. You start with raw materials. You have cement, water, a mold. And at first, everything seems messy, uncertain, and not much to look at. But with time, patience, and care, it transforms into something solid, beautiful, and useful. And the same thing happens with your life. You may feel broken, shattered, or overlooked right now. But as you commit to reshaping yourself, your life, through healing, growth, and creativity, you are forming something strong and purposeful. Just like each pot has its own unique shape, you are remolding yourself. You are rebuilding yourself into a version that not only holds space for your dreams, but can also hold space for others. So crafting is therapy for the hands, but it's also wisdom for your heart. With every item that you create, you're reminding yourself, I can shape, I can build, I can belong. I do belong, even if I have to start from scratch. So if you feel like you don't belong anywhere, take heart. You are not invisible. You are evolving and changing. This season is about making space for the next chapter of your life. One that doesn't require you to shrink yourself, but allows you to stand tall and to grow. And here's the beautiful part. When you begin to belong to yourself and to God's purpose, the right people will find you. They will recognize your light, your strength, and your resilience. You don't just survive not belonging, you grow stronger through it. And you will come to understand you were never meant to fit every space, only the ones where love embraces you, where peace anchors you, and purpose guides you. So remember that. Oh, I'm Taylor. And before you go, I just want to say thank you for spending this time with me. I truly care about you. And if there's anything in this video that spoke to your heart, I would really love for you to hit the like button, subscribe, and share. You can also leave me a comment to let me know your thoughts. Remember, you are never alone. We're in this together. So until next time, take care of your heart, and I'll see you in the next video.